Crawford putting on a show in this first half.
Oh, that was an ankle breaker. Yes, indeed, that was one.
And look at the clip of Benson with that.
Let me tell you.
Jamal Crawford.
Wow, right between the veteran's legs.
Oh,
Barnes for two. Crawford with the save. Barnes with the bucket.
And floater. Beautiful play by Jamal Crawford.
Crawford for the win.
Game winners when it mattered most. Self-alley oops that defied physics. And handles so filthy, defenders looked like they forgot how to walk. That's Jamal Crawford. And while you were watching highlight reels of him destroying the league, something impossible was happening. He was getting better. At 33, then at 35, then 39 years old. When most players are retired or riding the bench, Crawford dropped 51 points and became the oldest player in NBA history to score 51. But here's what's going to blow your mind. The secret to his fountain of youth? It started in the rain-soaked streets of one of America's most dangerous neighborhoods, where a kid with a dream learned to dribble when the ball was so slick he could barely grip it. This is the story of how Jamal Crawford refused to age. And trust me, you've never heard it like this before. But first, answer me this. Is Jamal Crawford the most forgotten legend in NBA history? The man with Benjamin Button syndrome, getting younger while everyone else got old. The Pacific Northwest hooper who had the ball on a string. A 6'5" point guard who dribbled the ball high, so high that defenders thought it was an easy steal. But when you reached, he teached. 20 seasons, 3 6 Man of the Year awards, 4 50-point games off the bench, the most 4-point plays in NBA history. And he never made an all-star team once. Not once. So drop your comment right now. Was Jamal Crawford the most forgotten player in league history? Or did coming off the bench turn him into something even greater than an all-star? Because what I'm about to show you is going to make you question everything you thought you knew about NBA stardom. Let's go back to where it all started. The rain, the streets, and a kid who refused to let anything stop him. Rainier Beach, South Seattle, Washington. The 1990s. This wasn't just any neighborhood. This was a survival test where young kids had to choose between two paths, the streets or basketball. For Jamal Crawford, born in 1980, there was only one choice. But it wasn't easy. His mother, a single parent working multiple jobs, knew the dangers lurking outside their door. Gang violence, drugs, the kind of environment that swallows kids whole. But Jamal, he had something different, an obsession. Every single day, rain or shine, and trust me, in Seattle, it's mostly rain. Crawford was outside with a basketball.
In the rain, I'm outside. You know how they be like, oh man, if you don't work on your game, there's somebody out there in the country outside right now. It was me. And in Seattle, that's why I dribble so. I've never done a cone drill in my life. But the rain, the snow, I'm learning how to dribble in the rain and the snow. So I'm like, if I can control the ball in these conditions, it's easy when I get in the court. So that was the best training method I ever had, was dribble in the rain. Because the ball gets slippery, it gets slick, and you're still trying the same moves. And you don't have total control of it, but you learn how to control different things, flow, pace.
It's the most Seattle I've ever heard of
Yes.
my entire life.
Yeah.
I was in the rain.
I was.
And Shaq wasn't exaggerating. While other kids were doing cone drills in pristine gyms, Crawford was literally battling the elements. Rain, snow, wind. The basketball getting so slippery, you could barely grip it. But that's exactly what made him different. Because here's what nobody understood at the time. Crawford wasn't just learning handles. He was building a foundation that would last 2 decades. When the ball is slick from rain, you can't rely on grip. You have to rely on flow and tempo. The same principles that would allow him to play at an elite level at 39 years old. At Rainier Beach High School, Crawford didn't just dominate. He studied the game like a professor. And those handles he developed in the rain, they became legendary. Opposing coaches would literally tell their players, just try to contain him. They wouldn't say stop him, just contain him. Because stopping Jamal Crawford was impossible. But before Michigan ever came calling, Crawford had to prove something that most high school stars never have to face, that he could dominate even when people doubted him. And nobody tells this story better than Jamal himself.
I make the A team, quote unquote, right? We always kept 2 teams. I had guys on the team that thought they could do what I do. I'm like, cool, I'm gonna go to the B team. So I went for the best player in the state, went and played in the back gyms in Vegas and California as the Pump Classic and Big Time at the time. Those 2 tournaments, I made All-American from the B team. And that's when Michigan came. That's when, like, I became a national, like, thing. And Coach Carl, it was Rotary and Friends of Hoop. So he started Friends of Hoop in Seattle. So I was one of his first teams. And so he used to come to all the games, everything. In the back gym, I had every college coach in the country there after I blew up in that time period. In 2 weeks, bro, I went from just a local guy to a nationally known, I guess. That's crazy, and that's how it went down.
Let that sink in for a second. The best player in Washington State chose the back gym over the spotlight. And when he got to those back courts, he became a national phenomenon in 14 days. That's not just talent, that's a mentality. A mentality that said, I don't need the best stage to prove I'm the best player. Sound familiar? It should, because that's the exact same mentality that would make him the greatest 6th man in NBA history. Crawford never needed to start to dominate. He just needed the ball and the belief that he was the best player on any court, even if nobody was watching. Michigan, 1998. When Crawford arrives at one of college basketball's most prestigious programs, he's not carrying a resume. He's carrying that B team mentality, that chip on his shoulder, that need to prove doubters wrong. His freshman year, 12.2 points per game. But scouts aren't looking at the stats, they're looking at the approach. While other freshmen are gassed in the second half, Crawford, still quick, still lethal, because those Seattle rain sessions taught him something crucial. You don't need perfect conditions to perfect your craft. And that AAU B team experience taught him something even more important. You don't need validation from others to be the best. While teammates were celebrating wins, Crawford was in the film room. While others were partying, he was stretching, preparing his body for a marathon, not a sprint. The same work ethic that got him noticed in the back gym was now building a foundation that would last 2 decades. And that's when NBA scouts realized what Seattle already knew. This kid from Rainier Beach, who became an All-American from the B team, wasn't just talented, he was inevitable. 2000 NBA draft. Cleveland Cavaliers select Jamal Crawford 8th overall, then immediately trade him to Chicago. And this is where Crawford's masterclass in longevity begins. Because unlike most lottery picks who burn out after 5 to 7 years, Crawford, he was playing chess while everyone else was playing checkers. His rookie season, 4.6 points per game. Critics are already writing him off as just another draft pick who couldn't make the jump. But what they didn't know, Crawford was learning from someone who knew exactly how to build a career that lasts. The one and only Michael Jordan. During the summer of 2001, while Jordan was retired from the Bulls and contemplating his return to the league with the Wizards, something happened that would change Crawford's entire approach to basketball. And nobody tells this story better than Jamal himself.
The summer comes, everybody talks about how we were on the same team. Actually, the first day I played against him. and my team won. And he was pissed. Like, he went and sat in the corner. He was pissed. Then after that, Grover calls me. They were playing at 2. And you know, young player, you got to work out your team first. So I'm up working out with the Bulls, and I'm like, yo, what's up? He's like, get down here. I'm like, I thought we weren't starting until 2. He's like, man, get down here. MJ's not starting the game until you get here. He's waiting on you. I'm like, oh, shit, all right. Mm-hmm. So from that moment on, we never lost for 2 straight summers, bro. Like, I really, and it's so weird. There's probably 2 or 3 times in my life where I felt my game, like, jump up, like a level or 2. And that was one of those times. And I was playing off of him. He's the guy. But I literally, I don't know for a fact, but it felt like I hit 80% of my shots off of him that summer. Like, I felt my game going to a whole nother level. And it was making its way around the thing. Like, man, that little Bulls guard, because I hadn't done shit yet. So like, man, that Bulls guard can go.
Think about that for a second. A 19-year-old rookie getting mentored by the greatest player of all time. Not in practice, not in games, in legendary Chicago summer pickup runs where Michael Jordan, refused to start without him. Jordan saw something in Crawford that most people missed. The passion, the work ethic, the handles that reminded MJ of his own relentless pursuit of perfection. And during those summers, while the basketball world wasn't watching, Crawford was getting a PhD in longevity from the only professor who mattered. Jordan taught Crawford the secrets that kept him dominant into his late 30s, how to train, how to recover, how to make your skill compensate for what age takes away, and most importantly, how to never stop getting better. Behind the scenes, Crawford was doing something revolutionary. He was learning from the master, studying yoga, understanding nutrition before it was cool. He was even invited to be in a Gatorade commercial, playing one-on-one against Jordan. Other rookies were hitting clubs after games. Crawford was getting massages, stretching, treating his body like a temple, exactly what Jordan had taught him. Year 2, 16.6 points per game. And here's where it gets interesting. Crawford's game wasn't built on athleticism. It was built on skill. The handles he developed in the Seattle Rain, now refined by MJ's mentorship. The footwork, the court awareness, all things that don't fade with age. Jordan's influence went beyond basketball IQ. It was about mentality, about treating every summer like training camp, about being undefeated in pickup games, not because you're the most talented, but because you refuse to lose. Crawford absorbed all of it. Let me explain why Jamal Crawford's game was the perfect recipe for longevity. Most NBA players rely on explosiveness, jumping, speed, things that deteriorate after 30. Crawford, his game was pure finesse. The crossover wasn't about being faster than defenders. It was about being smarter. The step-back 3 didn't require hops. It required timing. And his signature crossover? That was muscle memory perfected over 10,000 hours in the rain. But Crawford wasn't just about the handles. He had another weapon that made him absolutely lethal. His ability to hit game winners. When the clock was winding down and his team needed a bucket, that's when Jamal Crawford became unstoppable. And then there was the move that absolutely nobody expected from a point guard known for his handles, the self-alley-oop. While other players were running plays, Crawford was literally throwing the ball off the backboard to himself and finishing with authority. Here's what's crazy. Crawford, at 35 years old, had better handles than Crawford at 25. Why? Because every single year, he added something new. A new counter, a new wrinkle that defenders couldn't prepare for. While other players were declining, Crawford was evolving. But there's a question that basketball fans have been debating for years. Who has better handles, Jamal Crawford or Kyrie Irving? It's a reasonable debate. Both are wizards with the basketball. Both have moves that seem to defy physics. But here's what most people miss when they compare these two legends. It's not about who has better handles, it's about whose handles lasted. Let that sink in. Through their first 14 years, Crawford played almost 2.5 more seasons than Kyrie. Over his full career, nearly 7 more seasons worth of games. That's not luck. That's a completely different philosophy. And when Crawford was asked about the comparison between him and Kyrie, his answer revealed everything.
My feet, my hands, my mind are all one. So if you guys trapped me right now and I had a ball, I would look at a spot. And somehow, some way I would get to that spot. It didn't matter. I would do 3 moves over there to make you shift and get the ball. I just know where the spot is safe at. And he's the only other person that I've ever talked to that sees it like that. Like, I think a lot of people that handle the rock see it in like black and white. I think we see it in color. I'll never, in these lists, I never say myself, even with 6 man and stuff, I won't say I dribble better than anybody, but I won't say anybody dribbles better than me. And to his point, when these lists and these conversations come out, I'm the only one at 6'5". If he was a rapper, he would be Eminem at times with how he's, I'm like Nas or Jay, because I flow over the beat. Like, I can flow. Don't reach. If you reach, I got something for you, but I don't have to pull it out until you do something else. We're both counter punchers, but Kai's playing with that energy. He's trying to embarrass you every single time. That was when I was 17, 18. I was doing the same thing. I was throwing over my neck. I was dribbling up backwards. So I dribble higher, which I can dribble like I'm 5'8", but I dribble really high, and that's what makes people think they can reach and get it.
Yeah.
I flow over the beat. That's the difference. Kyrie's handles are explosive, rapid-fire combos designed to embarrass defenders. Crawford's handles, they were designed to last, counter-punching, flowing, high dribble that baits defenders into mistakes. That's not just style, that's strategy. Strategy that let Crawford play 1,327 games while preserving his body for 2 decades. Kyrie might embarrass you with his handles, but Crawford, he'd put you on Sports Center top 10. And at the end of the day, 1,327 games tells you everything you need to know about whose approach was built to last. Now let's talk about what makes Crawford's story absolutely insane. Most NBA players hit their prime at 27 to 28, then decline. Crawford, he rewrote the entire script. 2009 to 2010 season, he's 29 years old, 6th man of the year, 18 points per game off the bench. Okay, that's normal, prime years. 2013 to 2014 season, he's now 33. Most players are winding down. Crawford, another 6th man of the year, 18.6 points per game. He's not declining, he's improving. 2015 to 2016 season, Crawford is 35 years old. 35, an age where most players are accepting bench roles or retiring. Crawford, 3rd 6th Man of the Year award, still averaging 14.2 points in limited minutes. But wait, it gets even crazier. 2018 to 2019 season, Minnesota Timberwolves. Crawford is 38 years old. He drops 51 points. 51 against a team full of players literally half his age. Defenders who grew up watching him on YouTube, now getting cooked by him in real life. And then the moment that cemented his legacy forever. April 9th, 2019. Phoenix Suns versus Dallas Mavericks. Jamal Crawford is 39 years old. Younger players are getting DNPs, did not play, because their bodies can't hold up. Crawford, he checks into the game and proceeds to drop 51 points. Let me repeat that, 51 points at 39 years old. The oldest player in NBA history to score 50-plus points, smashing a record held by Michael Jordan, and he did it coming off the bench in a game that didn't even matter for playoff seeding. Why? Because Jamal Crawford's body refused to accept what age was supposed to do to him. So here's the question everyone wants answered. How did Crawford do it? How did he play 20 seasons in the most physically demanding league on earth? First, his game had zero wasted movement. Every dribble had purpose. Every step was calculated. Crawford wasn't running up and down the court unnecessarily. He was conserving energy like a marathoner. And remember, that control came from dribbling in the Seattle rain where every movement had to be intentional. Second, his training regimen was decades ahead of its time. Yoga, Pilates, hot cold therapy. While other players were lifting heavy weights that broke down their bodies, Crawford was focusing on flexibility and recovery. But here's the real secret. Crawford's basketball IQ increased every single year. He didn't need to be the fastest player on the court anymore. He could read defenses better than anyone. His mind picked up the slack while his body aged. Career numbers: 20 seasons, 14,726 points, 19.2 points per game. But those numbers don't tell the real story. Crawford played in 1,327 NBA games. That's more games than Allen Iverson, more than Tracy McGrady, more than Penny Hardaway, players who had similar skill sets but whose bodies broke down. Crawford's didn't. He's one of only 4 players to win 6th Man of the Year 3 times. He has the most 4-point plays in NBA history. That's 55 times defenders fouled him on a made 3-pointer, and he still converted the free throw. At every age, in every season. But here's a stat that proves Crawford wasn't just a 6th man. He was a closer. 4th quarter points, all time. 4th in NBA history. Let me say that again. 4th in NBA history, behind LeBron, Kobe, and Dirk. 3 first ballot Hall of Famers, 3 NBA champions, 3 players who were the first option on their teams. And Jamal Crawford, he came off the bench and still outscored nearly everyone in the most important quarter of basketball. That's not a 6th man, that's a weapon. But here's what makes his legacy complicated. Crawford never made an all-star team, never won a championship, never got the mainstream recognition his talent deserved. Why? Because he came off the bench, because he chose longevity over ego, because he understood that 20 years of excellence beats 5 years of stardom. Jamal Crawford played his last NBA game at 39 years old. And even then, teams were calling. Even then, he could still play. But Crawford made a choice. Leave on his own terms while he could still drop 50. From the dangerous streets of Rainier Beach to becoming the Benjamin Button of basketball. From a kid dribbling in the rain with frozen fingers to a player who proved that age is just a number when skill is your foundation. Jamal Crawford refused to age, and in doing so, he changed what we thought was possible in the NBA. Most players fight the hourglass and lose. Crawford, he looked at the hourglass, running out of time, and stopped gravity. But here's the question that's going to haunt you. What if Jamal Crawford had been put in the same position as Shaun Livingston on the Warriors? Think about it. A backup point guard with elite handles, championship DNA, and the ability to control the pace of the game. Would Jamal Crawford be an NBA champion right now? Would we be talking about him differently? Would that ring have changed his entire legacy? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And speaking of Shaun Livingston, if you don't know his incredible story of overcoming one of the most horrific injuries in NBA history to win championships with Golden State, you need to watch that video next. Click the link on your screen right now. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss another untold story. This is From the Trenches, real stories, real struggle, real basketball.